Would you look at that? I am back. But Doug, how come you're back? well, I just am. Hello, everybody. So, as it happens, my computer has a few problems, which we should get into eventually. But mostly these problems I don't know how even to go about them. Right now my computer has like two major problems, none of which I know how to solve. But then again, to be fair, I haven't gone and done a whole lot of research on them, but theoretically they should not be happening, but they are happening and I don't know how to solve them, but someday maybe I'll get to the bottom of it. Anyway, we're back, everyone. Hooray! So the first problem biggest problem with my internet connection. Well, the first big problem is my internet connection. The problem is that I don't know exactly what happens, but my home network, it works just fine. My cell phone keeps connected through the internet. That's how I am able to go and let you guys know in the chat that things are still going on. But what happens is that my computer just loses connectivity to the internet. Go figure. And how else can I explain this? There's this little icon on the taskbar that is internet icon, and just get this yellow exclamation mark, which is like, oh, there's a problem on your connectivity, and then you right click it and go, oh, fix problems, and then it looks around for problems, and then it says that internet adapter number 7 doesn't have a valid IP configuration. And I'm like, well then, how about that? But it doesn't solve the problem, and my internet keeps problematic and down pretty much. So all I can do then is to, when that happens, the only thing that I can do that solves that problem is to restart my computer. That involves me like completely stopping the stream and closing all the programs that I have open. And it's too much of a hassle. And somehow that just fixes the internet, when that is a problem. And that should not be a problem. Like, what is it that restarting my computer does that the computer couldn't do on its own while still on? So that is complicated. And the other problem is that when I restart my computer, it doesn't start up. It boots up and then it opens the command prompt and stops there. And there's nothing else I can do. So the only there is stuff that I can do with the command prompt. With the command prompt open, I have to type in explorer.exe, and then it opens up the explorer, which goes back to loading the rest of the computer. But that is not how a computer should work, you know. It should start all at once. Anyway, that be my computer right now, and I don't know why. Anyway, we're back. Hey Oni. I said stream is bark, and damn it, the bitrate just jumped from 160 to 780. Is that bad? I wouldn't imagine that it is. By bitrate you mean the... Oh, I don't know exactly how they decide that. But anyway, I'm sorry, Oni. And it says, well, it means I can't see it. Oh, dang. Can you listen to it, though? I would imagine that you can. At least listen to it. But you can hear it in audio only. Oh. At least there's that. But yeah, from what 104 has been saying, the idea is that at first Twitch has like so many few encoding slots available, and if you jump in early, which is what I do, you get those delicious encoding slots, which means you can you get to you get more encoding options available. But say, for example, if my internet disconnects, my stream disconnects, and then I have to go back in much further later on, it's not guaranteed that I'll get those encoding slots anymore. So the lowest quality options won't be available. And those encoding slots, they prioritize streamers that are partners, because partners they get more perks and whatnot. What I am currently is an affiliate, and an affiliate does get priority over non-affiliate streamers, but they don't get the priority over the partners. Partners get the top priority. But Doug, why aren't you a partner? Oh, simply because I don't have the viewers. I need to have an a measly average of 75 viewers at a time to become a partner. And you know, it's not like one stream will get me 75 viewers. It'll have to be like, it has to be an average. So in an entire month, I need to have an average of 75 viewers to be able to become a partner. That could mean like, oh, you had this one stream with 50 people, but then you had that one stream with 100. Anyway, last time here, before the stream disconnected so abruptly, I was ranting. Sorry, I was ranting about Castlevania, the anime, the Netflix anime. It's It is interesting. I kind of want to see where the story goes, but the animation quality and the directing quality is it makes it cringy, and while I can fathom cringy, while I can like endure the cringiness, I don't know about my lion, and normally we watch things together, and if he doesn't want to watch it because of how cringy it is, in fact he fell asleep last night watching it. So if he doesn't, if he can handle the cringiness, suppose that we will be just like, oh well, I guess we won't watch Castlevania anymore then. There's this other Netflix series, The Prince Dragon, which is very good actually. It's by the, not the creators, but like by some of the people who worked on Avatar: The Legend of Aang. That very famous and very well produced Nickelodeon cartoon, quote unquote. And also, Sam, you have to go. Sure thing, Sam. Take care and have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Anyway, Avatar: The Legend of the Aang is very good. We're hoping for the day that another good show will show up again. But in the meantime, we have this Netflix show called The Dragon Prince, which is made by some of the people who worked on Avatar, and it is very good and very like, oh my god, that's amazing as a show. But it also has some weird moments that I wonder where the fault lies for these weird moments, because it feels like when the characters are conversing, like talking to one another, it feels like there's like incredibly long breaks between one character saying a thing and the other character responding to that thing. The conversation doesn't feel that dynamic, and this empty space, you can feel the awkwardness in the air. I wonder if that's a problem with the directing. And the directors were like, no, let's make it realistic and shit, but they don't know that realistic is bad in some ways. Or whoever is doing the sound mixing left a lot of open space in between the middles, and that was a very poor choice, and I disapprove of it. Or they purposefully left these big blank spaces between lines of text for two reasons. One could be because of the animation. They have to make sure that the animation flows very well, so they can have like characters be doing one thing while they're talking. I don't know why, but it feels like they went with that, so it could be a problem with the animation itself. Or it could be that they intended that the show would get like dubbed into foreign languages. For dubbing, they want to make sure that if whatever language it is being dubbed to, if it needs the extra space to fill in words and whatnot, they will have those. And the last thing I can think of is that they actually just record the voice actors in a recording booth, and the voice actors kind of go do their thing, and then they just pick that and unadulterated just throw it into the animation. And the recording of the dubbing recording booth is subpar quality. Like, the voice actor read their line, then while one voice actor finishes reading their line, the other is reading the script to see what's the next line they're gonna do, and they go back and forth. But that leaves spaces between sentences, and that is where the awkwardness comes from. or the voice actors just don't have chemistry. So who knows? Leo says it is really live. I was just watching the replay from early this morning. Wow, Monk Doggo has come along. Oh yes. Oni says, Daddy Leo, yes, I put my beans on you, Leo. And Leo says, what beans? Hello there, Leo. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Have you been watching the... What's it called? Have you been watching the replays for the for the Dungeons and Dragons game we're running? Cause I do recommend those. It's starting to shape up nice. And Leo says, no, what have I been missing? What do you mean, you have not been following up with the Dungeons and Dragons game? Is that the replays you're watching? Now I'm confused and bamboozled. Actually, let me change the music. Today, you guys might notice that I don't have or default royalty-free music. Today I'm playing some delicious smooth groove. Because this guy is amazing and I like his songs. So we're listening to some smooth groove today. Don't know how you guys feel about him, but I like him. Onya says it's funny how you told Draco put that you have a scar on your face in your character sheet from dying 2 times on the spot. Oh yeah. I think that this campaign is gonna have, this Dungeons and Dragons campaign we're running, is a little bit more grounded realism. Like healing, like I have been saying before, healing will be slightly slower, and characters will not get scars from their battles and whatnot, which they can choose to heal or not, and scars happen if you die in combat several times. Because, you know, it adds another layer of danger to combat. Like the thought that your character is gonna get scarred after so many battles, get injured and whatnot. That, and you know, get some permanence when at the end of your journey, or not necessarily the end, but like say 30 sessions from now, your character is gonna have this scar and you're gonna remember exactly where you got that scar from, or not. Who knows? That's a mechanic I saw on the Dungeon Master book, and that I wanted to experiment with. Like, if this or that happens, there you go. Also, a neighbor of mine apparently is hammering something, so that's the noise you guys are hearing. Leo, you haven't been watching them, you feel lame now. Oh no, don't feel lame, Leo. You can always watch the replays on YouTube. They're all over there. Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 is a little cutty because, what do you know, I had internet problems going on. So it might be that you the stream's a little choppy. So the replay is kind of there are cuts here and there. But the first, the second, and the fourth are all in one piece and are delicious, and they are over YouTube, so you can go over there and rewatch them and see what you have been missing on. Other than that, also there's also the whole what's it called again? I was gonna say there was something else, but I don't remember what it is. But yeah, you can watch the replays of the Dungeons and Dragons games on YouTube. The most recent ones, you can even find them here on Twitch. And I hope you enjoy them if you do embark on the journey of watching them. They have improved. The first time around I just like said, sure, I'm gonna share my screen and let's go about that. But then I realized some problematic things, which is that on the stream you could see the DM screen behind it, so you could see the statistics for the characters, for the creatures. You could see all of their stats and whatnot. And then I noticed, oh boy, someone could easily go onto Twitch and screen sheet. Not necessarily screen sheet, but they could like get knowledge that they shouldn't have. Then from the second session onwards I changed that. So now we have a nice little interface, and most things are hidden, which involves me managing more screens, but it should be better for the viewers. Anyway, Leo says, any loss of limb, Doug? That is a thing that the book has, I think. I kind of want to have more gritty realism going on, but not that much. And I don't know how I would deal with loss of limbs per se, considering that, you know, our characters, they're low level. So say if someone were to go and lose a limb right now, how would we deal with that? Because right now our characters are all low level and they're going to a kind of a faraway island land thing where there is no civilization per se. So to speak, healing should be slightly harder, but if they go about losing limbs and shit, also dealing with the problems that they're gonna find is gonna be even harder. So I don't know if I'm gonna introduce that mechanic. I do think that the Dungeon Master book says a thing or two about that. Let me go and check that out. to see if they have a mechanic in place for that. Because the idea of the Dungeon Master book is that there is some mechanics and stuff for you to run your game, like run a more complete / complex game. But it also has like suggestions, like, hey, do you want to make your campaign a little bit more different, a little bit more, a little bit less? Maybe follow these suggestions that we have right here, and then they give you those suggestions. Let me check them out. Also, hello there, Artful89. Welcome to the stream. And yes, that's a Smooth McGroove, everybody's favorite a cappella video game music's artist. How are you doing today, Artful? Hope you're having a delicious, wonderful day of the Wednes. Okay, so let's go here. Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master Guide. Chapter 9, Dungeon Master's Workshop, page 266, Adventuring Options. Adventuring Options. This section, let me do a dramatic reading. Adventuring Options. This section provides options for changing how rests works, as well for adding unusual things to your campaign, such as modern weapons. If you were to do such a thing, who knows why. Healing. These options rules make it easier or harder for adventurers to recover from injury, either increasing or reducing the amount of time your players can spend adventuring before a rest is required. And Tiger, this doggo is like me. It's supposed to be like me in the future. It's it's gonna be a joke. I'm gonna throw in a little caption, a little speech bubble that says, after years I have finally achieved my goals of getting 2,000 followers on Twitter. But anyway, also we're back. Would you look at that? So one of the options is like the healer's kit dependency. A character can't spend any hit die after finishing a short rest until someone expends one use of a healer's kit to bandage and treat the character's wounds. So that's gonna be an option. That's gonna be a thing in the game now. Because, you know, the characters are gonna be in an uncivilized little piece of land. So it's not like they can easily and quickly get bandages or medics all over the place. They're gonna be in the wild. So they're gonna need to prepare before they go into, you know, dangerous adventures. There's also the option for healing surges. This optional rules allows character to heal up in the thick of combat and works well for parties that feature few or no characters with healing magic, or for campaigns in which healing, magic or healing is rare. As an action, the healing surge action, a character can use a healing surge and spend up to half his or her hit dice. For each hit die spent in this way, the character rolls the die and adds the character constitution modifier. The character regains hit points equal to the total. The player can decide to spend an additional hit die after each roll. A character who uses a healing surge can't do so again until he or she finishes a short or long rest. Under this optional rule, a character regains all spent hit die at the end of a long rest. With a short rest, a character regains hit dice equal to his or her level divided by 4, minimum of 1 dice. For a more superheroic feel, you can let a character use a healing surge as a bonus action rather than an action. So the idea is that pretty much as the characters go leveling up, they gain more and more hit dice. But then what you can do is choose one of these dice, roll them, add your constitution modifier, and that much is how much you heal by using the healing surge superpower, pretty much. However, you can use only up to half the amount of hit dice your character has, And when you spend them, you can't use them anymore for the healing surge up until you finish a short or a long rest. When you do a long rest, you recover all of your hit die, and when you do a short rest, you recover up to your character level divided by 4, to a minimum of 1. So a level 2 or 3 character can do like 1 healing surge per rest, pretty much. And then, slow natural healing, that's another rule. Characters don't regain hit points at the end of a long rest. Instead, a character can spend hit dice to heal all at the end of a long rest, just as with a short rest. This optional rule prolongs the amount of time that characters need to recover from their wounds without the benefits of magical healing, and works well for greedier, more realistic campaigns. The idea that I want to do is the same thing. For you to heal with a short rest, you need a healer's kit, or you need to do a long rest. So that makes the game a little bit more interesting. And there's this thing here called greedy realism. That's not what I'm looking for. The option is elsewhere. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Also, Artful says, doing fine, I'm listening to the stream and playing in Osu. Oh, cool. I forgot to ask this, or maybe I did and you answered and I don't remember your answer, or the stream disconnected, because that happened quite a few times. Which songs have you been playing on Osu? Because I remember that when I played Osu, we would either play the songs that were in original or in then 1 and 2 or Elite Beat Agents, and then of course some custom songs that people made and put up on the internet. But was this even on this book? I don't remember if that was on the book. But yeah, we used to play those songs. But then I stopped playing also. But people started getting like anime songs and other songs. But then I stopped keeping track of that. Maybe it's over here, this chapter here. Maybe. And also, Tiger says, ooh, Old Man Doug. Yes, exactly. It's gonna be a little joke, which I hope people enjoy. All right. So there is a chapter here in the book, not necessarily a chapter, but a sub chapter. Kind of little thing about complications for Dungeons and Dragons. One of them is diseases. A disease that does more than affect a few party members is primarily a plot device. These rules help describe the effects of the disease and how it can be cured, but the specifics of how a disease works aren't bound by a common set of rules. Diseases can affect any creature, and a given illness might or might not pass from one race or kind to a creature to another. A plague might affect only constructs or undead, or sweep through a halfling neighborhood but leave other races untouched. What matters is the story you want to tell. Then he kind of goes and talks a little bit about there's a couple diseases here which the Dungeon Master book says that you can add in your campaign. Poisons as well, which characters can use, and there's a lot of stats going on here. Sample poisons, purchasing poison, crafting and harvesting poison. Madness. Madness is a campaign mechanic you can use if you choose to do so. Which is like characters, they if they go through very stressful situations, they can gain madness points, and after having these or that many madness points, they suffer a quote-unquote random effect. And then there's also the fear and horror variances for campaigns, which sounds amazing, but I don't think I'll be using them because it would be best for like a what's it called, a horror based story, not necessarily for there we go, injuries. Haha. But yeah, a horror story is slightly harder to make, especially when your characters are so powerful as you guys who can control magic. When you can control magic and do whatever, horror becomes much more subjective. And Oni says, I need to play Bayonetta music to get lucky on D&D. Well, you can do that. Alright, so one mechanic I wanted to introduce to the game, which I have been using actually, I used that in our third session, but only to monsters. I haven't used that to players, is the massive damage rule. What happens is if you take damage that takes more than half your maximum hit points, you suffer a negative effect as well. So, for example, if a character has... Oh, it's raining. What do you know? If a character has 10 hit points and they suffer 6 points of damage, that's more than half their maximum life. So they suffer some sort of system shock. And either they are instantly knocked unconscious or something bad happens to them. Theoretically, the Dungeon Master book says, roll a dice, roll a d10 and check this list for an effect. But anyway, what I wanted to read is about injuries. Damage normally leaves no lingering effect. This option introduces the potential for long-term injuries. It's up to you to decide when to check for a lingering injury. A creature might sustain a lingering injury under the following circumstances. First, when it takes critical hit. 2, when it drops to 0 hit points but isn't killed outright. So this scarring mechanic I talked to you about. Or when it fails a death saving throw by 5 or more. To determine the nature of the injury, roll on the lingering injuries table. This table assumes a typical humanoid physiology, but it can adapt the results for creatures with different body types. What do you know? So you roll a d20, and depending on the d20, something happens. The highest number is the best you can roll is the minor scar. The minor scar, the scar doesn't have any adverse effects, and it can be healed through ways. A not so high number is the horrible scar, which says you are disfigured to the extent that the wound can't be easily concealed. You have disadvantage on persuasion checks, but you get advantage on intimidation checks if you have a horrible scar going on. And it can also be healed, should you wish. And then there's other injuries that you can suffer here by rolling a d20 and deciding on that. So that's a thing I want to use. Ish, not that much, like your guys are gonna get scars if you keep fighting battles and falling in battle. Onya says, you mean mortal damage? I remember there was a D&D session with your boyfriend and rolled a 1d6 to see what was the effect from mortal damage. Might be. There is a table here like, roll a d10, and depending on which number you roll, there's effects that happens. Like you can either drop to 0 hit points if you suffer more than half of your maximum life of damage, one of the effects is like, the creature drops to 0 hit points. So you instantly go unconscious. The other is you fall to hit 0 hit points but is unstable. The other is the creature is stunned until the end of his next turn. The other is the creature gets disadvantage. The other is they are unfazed, but they can't get actions until the next turn, and so on. So these are like minor effects, but I have been going on with things like, you deal more than half their hit points of damage in a single attack. Sure, you'll win instantly. I mean, why not? Because it kind of keeps things flowing and it discomplicates combat. Because like if with a single attack you were able to reduce this creature life by half or more than half, then this creature will have no chance of surviving further attacks, especially if you guys are in a group and this creature is alone. So I just solve things differently. One thing I did in this 4th session, by the way, is a spoiler to the end if you're gonna watch later, Leo, is that there was the ship combat, and at the very end of the ship combat, Hentai beat up a guy, the last pirate other than the captain, and then he said, and I'm gonna teabag him. Then I said, you know what? I thought this battle was gonna be shorter, but it's taking too long. So you decided to go and do a teabagging. So roll an intimidation roll, and then he rolled high enough. And then I said, okay, the captain just gave up. After seeing you teabagging the character. Which was a way to, like, they didn't die, so they didn't have to do a speech or anything. They just, like, gave up. Which allows us to continue that scene next time around, and it also ended the combat earlier than it would have ended normally. Because if you were to continue, it could have taken like another half hour, depending on how long everybody took with their turns and whatnot. So that was a thing I decided to do to end the combat quicker. But there were other things too, so there's a lot of little hidden mechanics that goes in place there. Which helps, you know. And then you said to see, you rolled a 1d6 to see what the effect was for mortal damage. 1 and 2 being a flinch, 3 and 4 being a small but quick confusion to black out, and 5 to 6 being a knockout. Normally it's the other way around, like lower numbers mean bad things and higher numbers mean not so bad things. But anyway, whichever way works. But as it happens, all of those hidden mechanics, they can make the game a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more interesting. Even more so if you guys don't know exactly the ins and outs of them. And if you don't know all the mechanics, metagaming becomes harder. Because you're just not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do these or you're gonna do that, because I know that if this or that happens, if I know that if I do this, there's a chance of that effect triggering, which could help me. It's gonna create some meta thinking. So a lot of those mechanics are hidden, precisely that, so people are either surprised by them and they can't rely on those things for their adventure. Especially because I with D&D, I feel like role-playing and interpretation is more important than dice rolls. So like if you if you're able to come up with a very good, very compelling reason as for why this or that thing should happen, I wouldn't even ask for a dice roll. I'd just be like, well, amazing, you succeed in doing that. If you fail to provide a very good reason, I'm gonna be like, sure, roll this or that. Check. Precisely because I want to incentivize role-playing and de-incentivize meta-game thinking. Like, oh, I want to convince them to come to my side, can I just roll persuasion? Without even explaining what the heck is going on. It can make players think too much about dice rolls and too little about the world and what's actually going on there. Anywho, Alex's, I don't know how to say your name, Alex CS underscore 46. Hello there. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? How's it going? My name is Douglas, by the way. I think you're new here. I don't remember seeing you here before. And I'm doing some random-ish art here. Because I'm gonna do a Twitter raffle for art. And I wanted a little art piece to accompany that. Even though Oni says that art raffles are filthy, I want to do one. Okay, that's a very small brush. And Alex, you're doing good. And Leo says, i.e. role-playing versus role-playing. Yes, exactly. I think that when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, or rather role-playing games, we're not necessarily we're playing because it's fun. But what's fun about playing Dungeons and Dragons against playing like checkers or chess or Counter-Strike or whatever, is that we have time to think and immerse ourselves in the world. When it comes to other games, it's like just a question of how good you are and which number is the highest. But when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, it's like, oh, I can actually affect things in this world. I can do all manner of stuff, and I can really immerse myself in it and have fun. And I want to reward that. If you really immerse yourself in it, and if you really think as the character, not as the player, you get more out of that. Everybody gets more of that out of that. And Alex says, just say Alex. I will do that. And yeah, you were new, so you were talking about an RP game. Yes, on the weekends, we have been playing a little game of Dungeons and Dragons ourselves. Me being the DM and the guys here being the players. And so far it has been very amazing, very enjoyable. And I have been talking a little bit more about that. Like additional rules and whatnot. And Leo says they rock. And then he says, filthy dog, Doug. How dare you? By the way, make an exclusive stream to request songs, Doug. You're itching to share tunes. Oh no. Yeah, maybe I'll do that one day. Like I said, the reason why I don't do streams with song requests anymore is because I want the replay to be available, and if I use copyrighted songs, the replays will be muted. So you will get me artwork of me drawing, but you will not get me talking. So all those moments where I kinda just stop drawing and go do something else, or try to rack my brain and explain something, or do hand gestures in the air that you guys can't see, but anyway, it makes me think better. On a stream with no audio, you'll just see that I have stopped drawing, and you'll be like, what the hell is going on? But anyway, on a replay without audio, rather. A replay without audio, rather. And Alex says, I see. Of course I do. You're a smart boy. Or a girl. Or a person. You're a smart individual. And Tiger says, okay, back. Cool, welcome back, Tiger. Hope you're doing good today. Hope you're it's not so cold anymore over there, that the temperature has risen a little bit, and that you have delicious tea to accompany you in this Wednesday morning. Because it would be a shame to not have tea on such a good, lovely day. So let me rotate this around, and then we're good to go. I'm gonna create a new layer with some text going on. Oh, my dog, what the hell is going on? Is Doug doing handwriting? Hell yeah, Doug is doing handwriting. Oh my dog, we're gonna die. Doug keeps up with his filthy, horrible handwriting. I have very bad calligraphy, by the way. And Alex says, honestly I suffer from waving your hand whenever I try to explain something. I mean, a whole lot of people do that. Problem is, there's nobody watching me, so I'm waving my hands around to nobody. When I say there's no one watching me, I mean in real life, there's nobody here with me in my living room seeing what I'm doing, so I'm like trying to explain this or that point to you guys, and then I start doing hand gestures, and because of that I stop drawing, but you can't see these hand gestures I'm doing, so for you guys it just seems like I just stopped drawing and I'm like doing whatever. And Leo says, I like when the DM rolls a lot of the dice, like the damage and score dice, and that the player may not know, like hide another checks roll that a character wouldn't know the outcome clearly, and the player only rolls one that they wouldn't know, like jump, climbs, checks. And Alex says, my dude, smart and me can't go in the same sentence. Oh no. Well, shame on you, I just did that. I made a sentence that involves you and smart, so deal with it. In the good way, that is it. Oni says, I wanna know something funny. Everyone around you is dead, but you're sad to Sam. What? You're dead to Sam and Big Z. Oh my dog, you scrub. What? And Alex says, or so you think. And Tiger says, Leo, Doug does to us too. A lot. Yes. And Ernie says, Doug rolls more dice than a Limp Bizkit song. I don't know that song though. And Alex says, oh no, a paradox. It's not a paradox. It's character growth. You're learning to have a little bit more self-love, which is a very necessary skill to survive in the world of today. You know, you have to love yourself a little bit more. And by love yourself, I don't mean, you know, masturbation. By loving yourself, I mean, what is the term? Talking up? Encouraging yourself to do stuff and pursue the things you want And when you fail, or when you try something and you don't succeed, instead of saying, oh no, I'm a failure, just go and says, well, that didn't work, but now I know now I know how. Now that I know that I failed, I know how I failed, and I know how to avoid that failure. And even though I feel disheartened and dismotivated to try it again, that's a feeling that is only with me today. Tomorrow will feel better and I will try again. And then Li Hang, or whatever was his name, comes in and starts singing and saying that he'll make a man out of you, and then you climb the pole and get the arrow, and eventually you save China, I guess. I'm not sure about the sequence of events, but something along those lines. Also, I just realized that I don't know how to spell words in English, because normally I type English and I have a lot of grammar checkers going on, so I don't know if you spell finally with 1 or 2 L's. I'm going to guess it's 1 L. Finally. After. Oh, 2 L's. Damn it. Oh, Doug. You silly boy. Finale. And Oni says you're a scrub for handwriting you. We can't call scrub neck you. We can't, indeed. And Alex says the love consumes you. Oh, you do much more than just consume you. It will motivate you to go and do good stuff. And start calling yourself good things again, like smart. And not in an ironic way. You actually will mean it when you say, I'm a smart boy. I'm the one who does smart things. Elio says, but yeah, no one knows how to spell well, Doug. No one knows how to spell well, Doug. I mean, I used to be good at spelling and shit, but that was younger me when I did a lot of essays and a lot of exams, entrance exams rather, for colleges and jobs and shit. I used to be amazing with spelling, but nowadays it has been forever since I wrote like more than a sentence in Portuguese on paper. Because do you think English is crazy? Boy, just you wait until you start writing down in Portuguese and you have to deal with accents. I'm like, what the fuck? What accent do you use? Do I even use accents? There's an accent which up to this day I still don't know exactly when and how to use. And people have told me the rule and I'm like, sure. But Doug, what is that accent? What is the rules? It's called a crase. It's whenever you do any letter you have an accent. With the top point to the right, you can do it to the other side. That's a crase, and you use it in very specific circumstances, and I never know when. So I just gave up. In fact, we have had a grammatical change going on. Like, it's a kind of a tricky story, let me tell you that. But first, Alex says, wait, you're Portuguese? No, like Tiger said, I'm Brazilian. And Alex says, oh, okay, we got both in stream and Portuguese. What? That sentence didn't make a whole lot of sense, Alex. Would you mind trying again, please? And then he says, Doug, I got an idea. I'm willing to sacrifice all your GBP. That's 24,000 good boy pounds for... And Tiger says, neat. For a D&D wallpaper of all of us. Oh, I like that idea, Oni. That is a very delicious idea. And Alex, you are Portuguese from Portugal. Oh, lovely. I'm not a Portuguese. I'm a Brazilian from Brazil. Hello. Or rather, olá, seja bem-vindo ao stream, Senhor Alex, ou Senhora Alex. Não sei. Olá, e seja bem-vinda. Ou bem-vinda. So the idea is that, okay, I need to stop writing to focus on this story. Back in 2008, actually let me pause the music, this requires a little bit more concentration. Back in 2008, or earlier rather, I don't remember when. More than a decade ago, we had not we, the Academy of Letters or whatever you call it, like the place that says, okay, we are masters of the language and we are the ones who decides the rules on what goes and what doesn't goes. The Brazilians, we Brazilians have the Brazilian Portuguese, the Europeans have the European Portuguese, and the rest of the world has like Portuguese going on in places that nobody knows. Like there's a lot of little countries in Africa that speak Portuguese. Nobody knows they exist, but they do exist and they speak Portuguese, and that's crazy. What happens is we all speak Portuguese, but we all speak like different versions of Portuguese with different accents, with different whatevers. So back in 2005, 2006, whenever, they decided to go and do a grammar revision agreement, which was the European Portuguese were decided like, oh no, stop using those crazy accents you have going on in all your letters. It's confusing and we don't like them. And then we, the Brazilians, said, sure thing, so long as you stop using double mute consonants in words and other stuff. And we also made demands to the smaller countries that speak Portuguese. And then everybody said, okay, within these many years, like 5 years, we will try our best to drop those commas and make the language more universal, more equal in all those countries. So what happened is that we Brazilians used to have a lot more accents rules, but eventually, as the time went by with this agreement, we started dropping these accents, so we don't use them anymore, and some of them are not like required. So if you write a sentence, you can throw that accent there, or you can leave the sentence without the accent, and whoever is reading will get from context what you meant. There's very little ways in which an accent can change dramatically a sentence. So what they did is said, okay, if you want to go and use the accent, you can, but you don't need to anymore. So this accent that I don't know how to use, the crase, we don't have to learn it anymore because it doesn't matter. If you write without it, people are just gonna be, okay. We used to have the Portuguese language used to have the umlaut, which is those two dots on top of words, of letters rather. We used to have the umlauts on top of the U's whenever it was spoken, whenever it was a syllable in which the U was spoken, because we have words where the, like penguin, where the U is spoken, so it gets an umlaut, and certain words where the U isn't spoken, like I can't think of any, but there are words that has like a G U and another vowel, but the U isn't pronounced. I can't remember of any, but there are words, and in those cases the U didn't get an umlaut. But then we dropped those, and the Portuguese stopped using double consonants and mute consonants. So before they used to say action, for example. The English has that as well. They have the action. The C is a mute consonant. Not mute, but it doesn't get a vowel with it. But in Portuguese, they would have said ação. They would have a mute C, But in Brazilian Portuguese, we just say ação. We don't have this mute C beforehand, so the Portuguese drop that. Which kind of simplifies words, quite a lot of words. So they stopped using those mute consonants and made a lot of words easier to spell because you don't have this double letter situation that it finally has. Because, I mean, those of you who are better at English, please explain to me why does finally has two L's instead of just one. And Oni says, or a drawing of your choice for me, because giving you artistic freedom. Oh, that's nice of you, Oni. And Alex says that you're from Portugal and you're a senor. I see. Now I know how to picture you in my mind. Slightly better. And yeah, we used to have a ton of colonies there. I don't know what happened to them and which one they are still, but there are some small countries in Africa that where Portuguese colonies and they speak Portuguese up to today. So they have languages going on, it's crazy. Elio says, por qué? Which is another thing, we have like 4 versions of por qué. We have por qué, separated, so like por and que. 2 different words, separated, then separated and with an accent on top of the E, then the same thing, they together and separated, but without the accent. So there's 4 versions of porque and people are like, what the fuck, when do I use them? After years! Finally, after years, I have accomplished with double C's. I'm assuming accomplished. My goal of having 2,000 let me rewrite this 1,000 here, it doesn't look that well. On Twitter, followers, exclamation mark. There we go. Manual lettering is weird. Finally, after years, I have accomplished my goal. Actually, I have to do this in a kind of deeper voice. Finally, after years, I have accomplished my goal of having 2,000 Twitter followers. And now, to the next phase of my plan. To dominate the world with furry art. Finally, after years, I have accomplished my goal of having 2,000 Twitter followers. So what else do I write here? Now to unveil my plan. There's a delicious website on the internet called blambot.com. It has thousands, I mean not thousands, it had like a couple dozen, but it has a lot of tips and instructions on how to do lettering, and my dog when you start doing comics and like, I want to do lettering, I want to do comics, and you think, how do I do lettering? And you're just throwing words in speech bubbles. It's like shitty at best. Most people don't have that many ideas of how to do lettering for comics, but there's so much intricacy to it. It's like, holy shit. One thing a lot of people don't notice though is that when writing sentences, whenever you're using the well, first of all, you always use capital uppercase letters, so no lowercase letters for lettering comics. Secondly, whenever you say I, as in the person I, you always use capital I with those little serifs on the top and the bottom. But when you say I inside of words, you use the I without serifs. That's a lettering standard that a lot of people don't realize, really, but that is a thing. Leo, you says, lol, what if the difference between fine and furry art? Do you mean is? Also, hello there, Chandler, Wolf Morning, welcome to the stream, and 2,000 followers indeed. Oni says, wanna know something funny as well. The world is against you, but kinda chaotic destructive for you when you have a breakup. What? And Chandler says, yes, what the fuck does that mean, Nani? And then it says, cause when I have a breakup, my TV starts showing commercials of travel to the place where your ex-boyfriend is at. Like, legit, you had a boyfriend in Australia. My TV legit played only TV shows and commercials of Australia. Oh no. Must have been that time of the year when Lost was a big thing and they were like, oh, go to Australia now. Because I feel like when Lost, the show, was being played on TVs, and it was like, oh, this plane on its way from Australia to Los Angeles, it crashed. A lot of people were like, oh, what do you know, Australia is a nice place, I would like to go there. And then they started showing commercials because it was relevant. More relevant. Now to unveil my plan, my master plan. Okay, and I'm also gonna have another drawing here on the bottom, which is gonna be like, ha! Surprise! Things will happen. Oni says, like, it's telling me, here's cheap air travel and go fuck him up. But at the same time, it cuts deep. Oh no. And it cuts you deep in your feelings. Oh no, Oni, don't get cut. It will bleed. Your feelings will bleed. Don't cut yourself. Don't let things cut you either. Leo says, A, not a damn thing. What? And Chandler says, no dot on the I. It's supposed to be an uppercase I without the serifs. So no dots for the eyes. And Chandler says, in the world unveiled there was no dot, but it's not supposed to have a dot. Like I was just saying. Eyes in... when it's alone and it's the pronoun like I am a person, it has serifs, so these lines on the bottom and top. But when it's an I in the middle of a sentence, it is supposed to be uppercase, but it's not supposed to have a dot. It's supposed to be an uppercase I, like every other letter is uppercase. better without the serifs, because with the serifs it feels like, sure, it's an eye, but you don't need that. Not all fonts have that though, which is tricky. It's a lettering thing, believe me. It makes sense. And then it says, but it doesn't phases you anymore when shit like that happens, like it's mocking you. But now you're like, ha, you're funny TV, but now we'll change the channel or watch Netflix. And Trailer says, oh, in this font, re. Is that like the Michael Jackson scream when he does the Is that what the re means, Chandler? I'm gonna what it doesn't matter what you answer me, I'm gonna start believing that it is that. Whenever I say re, I'm gonna imagine it's the Michael Jackson scream. The hee. In fact, I'm gonna have to go through his songs and find that sound clip and make it into a sound for you guys to use here on the stream. I'm trying to do some sort of anime pose, like of a character exploding out of his clothes with their hands closed, like, I'm going to do the thing, which I said I would do. Problem is, fuck, I don't watch anime. I don't even know what this pose looks like, other than what I assume it does from my knowledge in anatomy. But there's a big, huge difference between what I know anatomy is like and how it behaves, and what anime believes the world and the human body is like and how it behaves. Because if you're gonna believe in animes, boy, are you gonna go to the hospital so frequently. You're gonna become a frequent flyer, quote unquote. And the hospital is gonna give you like a punch card. For every time you go to the hospital, you get like a discount on your next session. Or something like that. Because animes, they be doing things the human body should not do. So don't even try, don't even bother. I mean, or do, I don't know. It is not impossible, but the average human person cannot go and do stuff like that. Leo says, though, with them it feels / looks crowded. And Chandler says, when I read Re, I envisioned a house cat hissing, or an ear rape version of someone screaming. Unlimited power. Leo says, woot, clothes go boom. And Chandler says, lol. And then it says, ha, I made my Berno fluff stronger and better. I'm indestructible Berno boy. But don't kick me, it still hurts though. We will not kick you, honey. Don't worry. I gently asked Berno, it's a... What is it again? A Bernese mountain dog? Is that what you're called? Because there's the Bernese mountain dog, which is a breed of dogs, which is the dog that Oni is. But there's also the other Berno, which is a Saint Bernard, and I guess we're gonna call those Sabernos. Oh, you boys. Going on about and throwing songs left and right. Alright, now to adjust the positioning of some of these things, and and that's about it. Because why would I even bother? But yeah, don't go about and do anime stuff, you guys. You will hurt yourselves, or you will learn new things about your bodies. Like, oh, what do you know? As it happens, I am a human being and I cannot bend my legs that way. I also cannot invoke a ball of spiritual energy in my hands and shit. What do you know? I'm just a boring old human person. Ha ha ha. But no, you were wrong. You, viewer, you're not just a boring human person. You're a person who can go and create all sorts of stuff, so long as you get all those things that are in your mind and start putting them out there in the world for people to see through art, not through violent manifestations. Put your thoughts out in the into the world through art and art-wise mediums, such as music, such as drawings, such as literature, such as... What other forms of art are there? How about memes? That's a form of art. Go out there and start doing memes. Get those dank thoughts you guys have and make memes out of that. But not true dank memes. There are some things that the world is not ready to see, and that I will not tolerate. But I joke, I tolerate everything. I'm a softie. I'm too good to you guys. Whatever you guys go and do, I'm just like, ah, you silly boy. Sure, go on ahead, run along. Which is bad because, you know, I should have a firm grasp, and if people do shitty things, I should say, hey, fuckface, don't do that. I don't, though. I'm very tolerant of people and stuff and things and other, well, other beliefs. Anyway, Leo says, I have this animated porn, and I once noticed that the tops I actually have only one arm, and I can't watch said vid without laughing, as you can't unsee that fact. Oh no. Leo says, oh geez, Leo. Chandler says, new things about your body, yes. And then he says, it's funny how when you said animation porn, you immediately think of Jason Fikes, isn't Affix? Oh, that guy. And how people kept putting on his Twitter saying, you're so scummish and shit, and I won't beat my dick to your porn anymore. I couldn't help but laugh. What? Why? Why is that, honey? Chandler says, what the fuck, Lamo? A firm grasp. Yes. And Leo says, unless it is just too much. Yes, if... Little do you know. If you firmly grasp something too firmly, you will cut blood circulation to that part of the thing you're firmly grasping, considering it's an organic thing and it's connected to a larger body. And if you deprive that part of blood circulation, no oxygen will reach that part. But what do you know? The organic forms need oxygen to function, and if it can't get oxygen from the air through the blood circulation, it has to make oxygen and power elsewhere. One such way of making power is through a process whose name I forget, that generates a very small amount of power, but also generates an acidic compound, lactic acid, and lactic acid after it circulates for a few minutes, it'll give you this sensation of numbness. Like, it will make that part of your body, or whatever body you're grasping, feel like asleep, with that little tickling that goes with that. But if you let too much lactic acid build up, that part of the body will like actually decompose in acid, and it will necrose, which is no bueno. So don't do that, kids. Like, just don't. Daddy no likey. But Tiger says, get a good grip. Leo says, or even rip skin. No, Leo, don't. I'm just saying about the bad things that can happen to your body if you overdo it. So don't. Just don't. Take care of your bodies, ladies and gentlemen. It's the only one you have. It's gonna be a weird ass stomach tonight. It's gonna be like the... Something like that, I guess. Like what? Oh, there we go. The upside down thing works better. Best. Bitter. Butter. Butter. Flying butter. Butterfly. Insect. Moth. Metamorphosis. Random words. Meaning less. What the hell am I talking about? See, that's what happens. Every now and then I just kind of look and I start going off on tangents and I start saying nonsense stuff. And you guys don't interrupt me when I'm saying nonsense stuff. But to be fair, if you guys did try to interrupt me, I would not notice. Because I have the very bad track record of keeping up with the chat. I do read through what you guys said, it'll just take a little while longer to answer than most, because I'm trying to focus on this thing here. Because one thing I have found out is that if you keep very close, if you pay very close attention to the chat, your productivity lowers so damn much. So that's the thing. And Leo says South equals bad. It is. And it says, grip it good, choke it good, and beat it like he owes you money. Money. Chandler says, this dude is daddy AF. And Oni says, I'm sorry y'all for being hella lewd, but I can't help it. It's alright, Oni, we can't help it either. Well, we love you just the same. You don't believe we love you, Oni? Why wouldn't you believe us? What? I'm gonna go right now, stalk the shit out of you, Oni, find out where you live, mail to you a correspondence, a letter, if you will, that will read, Oni, you are amazing, I love you. And then also maybe sending a couple chocolates with that. And maybe I'll go and also slip in a dollar bill. And you will see how much I love you through presents and gifts and demonstrations of affection. And Tiger says, Beefcake Daddy is what Doug is drawing, exactly. And Random Nonsense Doug is just fine. Aw, I'm glad you like it, Tiger. And Leo says, we love your nonsense, Doug. Aw, you guys are so nice to me. I don't deserve such goodness. I mean, I do, but I have to do more to earn it. Much more. And then he says, damn old man Doug, you still got some years in you. How about we go into the bathroom or bedroom to make you feel young again? How do you go about making one feel young again? I was gonna say, I'm gonna make you feel young again. I'm gonna play to you the original Thundercats animation and you're gonna be like, wow. 1990s memories. Ahoy. But that doesn't, watching old animation doesn't make you feel young, it makes you feel old, rather. Because you remember when you originally saw those things and you remember, wow, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? How can we go and make one feel young again? Okay guys, I need suggestions now. How do we make one remember and feel young again? How about a walk in the park? Playing games. I know that playing games is the thing that makes us feel young again. Because we're having fun doing activities and such. Even though we're playing games that we used to play long ago. It's kind of like watching animation, but it's more interactive, so it makes you feel things and just watch things happen while other thoughts are going through your mind. A game that an old game that does not make me feel young is Tomb Raider, because whenever I play those things, I'm like, why? Because it's amazing, but it's also so bad, bro, so bad. But so good, but so bad as well. It's a conundrum, you see, the Tomb Raider games, the old Tomb Raider games. Like, so amazingly good, but so weird. How about if I make this hand bigger? Well, how about this big? Oh my dog, it's so big. But no, that's too big. Just a little bit bigger. That's about right. Do you know what I miss? I miss Persona musics. Like Persona 3 soundtrack is like so good. And I used to watch that on repeat every day. Every fucking day. I don't so much anymore though, and I wish I went back to doing that, but what I liked really was like the feelings of me coming back from high school and then going to my computer, putting on the Persona 3 and or 4 soundtrack and listening to it and being like, so good. And then seeing people about the internet stroll like, this is a fake Persona 5 soundtrack. The game's gonna sound like, which was done by this guy whose name escapes me, but is a furry artist who also apparently came up with this idea of well, I don't know if he did came up with this idea or not, who knows. This idea of pectoral pregnancy, pregnancy, I guess. It's like this very, very muscled boy, hyper muscled boy, with huge pecs and apparently pregnant through his pectorals, which also let out milk, but eventually they will let out a fully grown living being, I guess. It's been a while. I don't remember how it goes. But that's a thing apparently. Go look it up. Or don't, I don't know. I mean, how free are you guys today and how willing are you to see things that cannot easily be unseen? Check that out, I guess. Okay, also hello there V-Drift, welcome to the stream. You joined us at a very inappropriate moment, but welcome nonetheless. How's it going? Chandler says gonna go hop on the shower. See you freaks later. Sure thing, Chandler. Thank you for stopping by and staying for as long as you did. Thank you so very much. And I'll be seeing you later, I hope. And Tiger says Oni is a good boy, he's the best boy. Leo says dirty talk, dirty touches in short, simple kink. Chandler says a slap to the face, and Oni says fucking us. Does Mo burn a boy like me? Chandler, do you need your inhaler? You're wheezing. Leo says big hands mean hard fistings. Leo, no. Don't. And then he says yaoi hands. You know what they say about yaoi hands. They got... what? They got enough distance to get things from inside small spaces. What? Let me reread that. I don't understand what you mean. They got enough distance to get things from inside small spaces. What? I don't see what you mean, Oni. But I'm gonna imagine that that's lewd in some way. And Chandler says, okay, bye for real, ciao, oof. See you later, Chandler. And Oni says, Wolfie Cannon, it's probably him. Cause I did see soundtracks and images of him, Persona 5 concepts and stuff of his POV. The name does sound familiar, so I guess it might be him. But I don't know, I remember seeing that like way back in 2011, 2012 and stuff. It's been a while. Leo says, Doug, stop. Just stop. I will never stop, Leo. You're stuck with me until the end of the days. Which might as well be any day now. Considering how poorly my internet is able to keep up. But who knows, the last day might be tomorrow. The last day might be 10 years from now. Who knows? Hard to say for sure. But anyway, how are you doing today, Vidrift? Hopefully you're doing good, and hopefully the inappropriate talk when you joined the stream didn't turn you off and out of this very lovely place that we're having right now. And by inappropriate talk, I mean kinky talk. And by kinky talk, I mean, hey, there are people in the internet who are into stuff that you never heard of. How about that? Let's talk. Let's discuss that. And then we discuss for a short minute or two. But then again, all you need now and then is just a hot minute to discuss certain things. And then you're done. That's out of your system, and you're now blessed with the knowledge of a new thing, kink, that is going on. I wonder though, what other kinks are there that, I mean, I am not aware of that people have? Cause when you have been on the internet for a little while, you start to listen and learn about all sorts of things that you're like, what? Like apparently there's this, from what I have seen, it seems weirdly enough to be a Japanese kink. Go figure. It's kids licking each other's eyeballs, which is exactly what it sounds like. They're just kids. By kids I mean like teenager people who are like, oh, let's kiss, sure, and then they kiss, and then they're like, let's lick each other's eyeballs, and then they go and do that. And then the internet took notice of that and said, no, no. And they shared the images, apparently. But since there's hardly anything like, it's not sexual, it's not showing genitalia. It can be sexualized, of course. It definitely is. But they were like, ah, it doesn't show penises or vaginas, so we can't show this. So they showed pictures around of kids, like, they sticking out their tongues and touching other kids' eyeballs with their tongues and being like, ah, that's nice. And then they, whichever internet place was this, they got in touch with a doctor and said, hey doctor, how about that? And the doctor was like, no, no, don't do that. Your eyes are very sensitive things, which is one of your most vital senses. It is very important, and it's a very hard thing for us to find a way to replace if you were to go and lose one, such as that. Like, if you lose a hand, a leg, there are replacements for that. If you lose an eye, then you're fucked. People have not yet figured out how to make virtual eyes that work as well. Anyway. And they said that, like, oh, the eyes is a very sensible thing, and your tongue, or rather any organic thing that is in your mouth, is riddled with bacteria. Even if you keep like perfect vocal oral hygiene, like you brush your teeth every day, you floss and whatnot, it's still gonna have more bacteria than you're comfortable with, and you totally should not touch someone else's eyeball with a tongue. So the doctor went like, no, don't. But I don't know what happened to those kids. I wonder if they're alright, or if they have gone blind now. Huh. Anyway. And Tiger says, can't stop, won't stop, on fire. And what? No, Doug. What? Yes, Doug. Gotta do that. And Oni says, hey Doug, how about we go around back and show me how Louis hugged Sarah's strophe from the council? You're wrong, Oni. It wasn't Sarah's strophe. It was Emma's neck. Because, you know, it was the council, it's a game about the occult, and then we decided to become a necromancer and hug her neck very romantically. maybe a little bit too hard and she kind of choked and died. But we made a delicious romance to her neck. Because, you know, everybody loves a little bit of necromancy every now and then. Neck romance every now and then. And then she died, Emma. And then I was like, oh no, story stuff is happening. Oh shit. And then after that happened, after Emma died and other things have happened and died as well, we were like, okay, that is gonna have repercussions. But it didn't have. Anybody was like, Emma isn't around, and we were like, sure. And we were like, but she was killed. I murdered her. How is nobody talking about that? Actually, Emily, because people still thought she was Emily. Everybody was like, Emily is dead. She's not around. What the fuck? But no, they were like, she's not around. Carry on. And everybody was like, okay. Whatever happened to her, she is gone. Thank God she's gone. And I was like, what the fuck? Oh, the council Zazan ending was so bad. So bad. Which is such a shame. Because the game had so much promise and so much potential.
Hug my throat in bed, Daddy Doug.
Oni, no, I can't do that. You're but a wee pupper. You can't go around getting your neck hugged just like that. Yes, Vidrift, what Oni said, the gaming commands are dead because it was starting to get broken on the amount of goodbye pounds you could earn for just subbing, watching, and giving bits. Cheering with bits is the right way, is the only way now of getting goodbye pounds and being around. But I also stopped taking goodbye pounds requests for drawings because I was getting too many requests and too little time to go and do them. So there you go. And Vidrift just says that sounds like a good resolve. It is a good resolve. Glad you like it. Also, Oni, thank you so very much for those delicious bits. And now that I have gone and spent 3 hours ish, because we were offline for like 15 minutes. Now that I have spent some time talking endlessly about things you all, well, certainly felt something towards. I won't say that you adored it and loved every single second of it, but I will also not say that you guys hated it with every fiber of your being and wanted it to be over as soon as possible, so who knows even. But anyway, I have spent some time talking, now I want to hear what you guys have to say. Today is all about, well, not today, but this hour now, this final hour of the stream is all about you guys. Tell me everything there is to know about you as a person, as an individual. Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Right now seems like a good time for just some profile pics, Doug, but that's just it.
Yeah, Oni, you're right. Profile pictures is a good thing I could do, actually. They're easy-ish enough to do, they're fast, they're not hardly ever gonna be pornographic in nature, and I can crank a few in a day. So I guess I could start doing that. Taking good boy pounds requests for profile pictures. We're gonna be like, hey Doug, I want a profile picture for these many goodbye pounds, and I'm gonna be like, sure, there you go, and then I go and draw them live on stream, and people are gonna be like, do this, do that, change this, change that. No, Doug, you suck, stop, you're ruining my piece. No, Doug, that's a penis. No, Doug, no, Doug. It's gonna be so awesome, Oni. Thanks for the idea. I'm gonna do that. I'm certainly gonna do that. Also, thanks for the bits.
What I have to say, I'm scared of Lorenzo Doug. He has crazy stamina and I'm scared he's going to cripple me in bed. So the thing is, I want to go back again to hang out, but at the same time, I'm like, no.
Wait, what? Who or what is Lorenzo? Oni. What the hell are you talking about? Now I am confused and bamboozled. I'm confumboozled. But it's confused and bamboozled. All at the same time. But only you went and threw in more information which I needed. He was a fur I hanged out with. Oh, by hang out you mean quote unquote hang out. I see. Makes sense. Guys, you're not telling me stuff about yourselves. That is the thing I need. Because now is the you guys hour. It's time to focus on you. Let's talk. You and me, me and you. What are your plans for this year of 2019? Such an odd year, I think. Because 2019 is like, it's 2019, the last year of this decade, except for like 2020, which feels like it's the next decade, but no, it's still this decade. Because decades start on the first year, not on the 0 year, so go figure. It's the second to last year of this decade, but it feels like it's the last year of the decade. And it's an odd number, like, you feel like nothing ever gets done on odd numbers. It's like, whatever even happened in 2017? What happened in 2015? Nothing. Odd numbers, odd numbered years are so weird. Nothing ever happens on them. Nothing good, at least. But lo and behold, it is 2019 and something has to be done. So what are you guys' plans for 2019? My plans is to pay off my debts, which I can comfortably do. I have money saved in my saving accounts, I have some income, and even if worse comes to shove, I can do commissions and pay stuff off. And then once I have all my debts paid, I'm gonna start finally furnishing my house with stuff, because I have been living here for 4 years and we still have very little in the way of furniture. I want to go around and try some cool stuff here and there, and then start looking. After I finish furnishing up this house, we're gonna start looking for a new house. But to do that, we'll also save money. So 2019 is the downtime year where we just save money, spend as little as possible, and try to make this place a little bit better. And then also find a new place to go and live. And then starting next year, possibly I'll be moving. How exciting. moving like within the city, like moving to another house, still in the city. Or not, maybe I will stay here for the rest of my life, who knows. That is my plans for 2019. What about you guys? What are your plans for this delicious year of 2019? Tell me all about it. Oni says, like we hanged out, things got spicy with Sin for 3, almost 4 hours straight, no break. And felt so out of it and gone from the scene, they then finished and went back to watch TV and wanted to sin again. Oh boy, Oni, when you're sinning that much, make sure to drink water, otherwise we're gonna get dehydrated. Some people have like higher resistance, like a better body constitution, so they can go longer without water. But in general, don't go too long without drinking water. Your body needs it. This works. I don't think it does work. Oh well. And Tiger says, help get the house repaired, but also grow some more garden stuff. Oh, garden stuff. Ooh, what sort of garden stuff do you have going on? I thought it was like incredibly weird and borderline impossible for you guys to grow stuff over there because of all the snow that happens every few months in a year. Like I imagine that farms and whoever has like greenhouses and ways they can grow stuff, but how does one, like an individual person, goes about growing stuff in an environment where it snows? Do you like just grow it and when winter comes by it's like, fuck it, my plants are dead. Next year, hopefully they'll come back again and do something good with that. Hopefully. Who knows? Maybe next year my garden won't even be here. Maybe the world will flood and we'll all live underwater. Who knows? Sérgio, olá, seja bem-vindo, bom dia. Seja bem-vindo de volta ao stream. Agora que você está em casa, todo retornado, bem fresquinho e bonitinho e pronto para assistir a stream. And Tiger says, pretty much, yep, you just plant new each year. Oh my god, that sounds horrible. I mean, not horrible, it just sounds like... Well, I was gonna say it sounds like so much work, but then again, it's not like you can just... It's not like having a garden, it's just throwing some seeds and check back in whenever and reap the rewards. Having a garden is a whole lot of managing and checking out and caring and, well, it's all that. One does not go and have a garden. And just leave it there unattended and comes back a year later and it's got fruits and shit. But yeah, I just can't imagine myself like growing a garden because first we have no space. We have no yard even. We live in an apartment. But secondly, there's so much going on in our lives, we don't have time for that kind of stuff. Or we like to say that we don't have time, whereas we're just bad at managing our time, or free time. I probably would be able to tend to a garden if I really were to reserve some time to it, just as I would be able to do like gym and other stuff that I want to do but I don't currently do. But if I were to like take care of a side project, I don't know that I would go with a garden. A garden sounds like low maintenance ish compared to other things you can go and do. But it also is like there's only so much you can do. You can kind of set stuff in motion, but then the rest is up with waiting. To play the long waiting game. I like, you know, hands-on things where I can just go and do stuff, and they're done when I say they're done, and they advance when I go and put in the work. And also they behave just more or less just like how I expect them to behave, because it all boils down to how much skill I have in that area. However, having a garden seems like such a cool zen thing to go and do, to have. And also, you know, you can never have too much food growing in your backyard or front yard or in your yard. It's always better to plant and reap stuff yourself than to go out and grocery shop, go do grocery shopping and whatnot. So there's that. That's a little upside to things. Tega says also, my nose. Some plants can survive the cold, but you grow through the seasons and then store, can and freeze what you have harvest for the winter. Huh, I never seen people canning stuff. It never occurred to me that, you know, people can stuff in their houses. Huh. Though it would be cool to build a greenhouse. That could be a project. Oh my dog, go for it. I mean, if you have the space and if you have like the time and the will to do that, I imagine it would be nice. I like having a greenhouse and then in the winter you're just like you're like, holy shit, it's freezing. I'm going to chill out in my greenhouse, and then you go there and there's this little building where you can just go and do cool stuff in. By cool stuff I mean tend to the plants. It sounds cool. It sounds like a nice little project to have. Although I guess that for a greenhouse to operate, the amount of power, money, theoretically, you have to spend getting things working, it's so much that I don't know that it would pay, that it would like be worth it in the end. Like, hey, cool, I have a greenhouse going on where I can grow my potatoes and shit. But is the amount of power your, well, monthly expenses to keep the greenhouse running, are those lower than the amount of money you would spend that you would spend buying those potatoes from the market? That's what I'm thinking. Also, sorry, I got a little distracted because this music here, apparently Copper Road from Super Mario 64. It's such a good song, you know. I had all but forgotten about it, but it's so good. The boss stages in Super Mario 64, when you have to run an entire gauntlet of obstacles before you can reach Bowser and spin him around and throw him off the stage and into bombs and shit. Anyway, Iruga says I'm a bit distracted because I'm helping boyfriend, or big phalange, with some stuff, but you're here. Well, I'm glad to know that you're here, Iruga. Feel free to stay for as long as you'd like. But now is the viewer hour, so tell me all about you. What sort of stuff are you doing? What are your plans? How's it going? Tell me all that there is to know about you. As a person, as an individual. Now it's about telling me stuff about you. Or telling us stuff about you. Yourselves. And Tiger says during the off-season, yeah, but also fresh food tastes very good. Oh yeah, true. Theoretically that would just be running like off-season, the greenhouse project thing. Fresh food, I don't think I have ever had like fresh vegetables throw into food themselves. What I have had is like I'm trying to remember the name of the thing. When I was very young, a friend of mine in elementary school, we used to go to his house to like just play around. He had a big yard and we could just play soccer or whatever. And the neighbor had a big tree. They had a tree in their house as well. So what we used to do was climb that tree, and from climbing that tree we could get to the neighbor's tree that had like a what was it? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember, is the name of this fruit that we had here. Fuck if I know. What the hell that is that? Oh, I don't even have translator open. Okay, alright, time to ask Google. Ok, Google. Qual é a tradução para inglês de Amora? I don't think that it knows what I said. What? It searched for something completely not. What? Ok, Google. Amora em inglês. Blackberry, there you go. Ah, it's the name of this, a cell phone in fact. Yeah, the blackberries. We used to get them straight from the trees, and oh my god, that was amazing. Best thing ever. But like, was fresh fruits, and fruits in and themselves are like very. There's hardly ever fruits that are not that good when collected and eaten fresh. But who knows even. And Iruga says, I'm planning to eat bread with meat and cheese. Is that a good info? Yes, it is, because now I want to know more. Why are you going to eat bread and meat and cheese if you could have something else going on? And also hello there, Felipe. Welcome. And you asked if I can make a panther for you. I am afraid that I cannot. I'm not taking requests right now. But nonetheless, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? I don't know if you know English. It is an English stream though. Only you said I wanna sacrifice 4,000 good boy pounds for 3 icons. Doug. One young Burno boy look and true dead Burno boy. Dead Burno boy, that's not a thing we have seen before. Would have to coach me in how the hell to do a dead Burno. Like, what does it even looks like? Mas em todo caso, Felipe Simpático, seja bem-vindo ao stream, mas eu não estou fazendo desenhos pros espectadores. Eu estou fazendo um desenho próprio para uma pequena campanha de marketing que eu vou fazer. E no momento não estou aceitando pedidos. Mas seja bem-vindo em todo caso. Espero que sua quarta-feira seja boa. E que você esteja bem também. Aniruga, you said because I want to eat that. Dang it. What? Is that what you want to eat? Really? Also, wait just a second. Let me check something. Fuck, I can't check that. I have to open Chrome, and when I open Chrome, my computer is gonna crash. Crash computer. Oh, would you look at that? I didn't. Is my stream set as Portuguese in language? No, it isn't. What the hell? I be Bamboozle Boy. Anyway. And lewd dead Burno face, says Oni. Wow, so many profile pictures. Why do you need that many, Oni? Like, ain't that a bit too much? A bit too much? I might have said bitch, which when I didn't mean to say bitch, I meant to say bit. But anyway, Tiger, fresh food is amazing indeed, but I never had like fresh vegetables cooked into any sort of recipes. But I'm gonna take your word for it. I guess that if I were to like have a little garden and plant stuff, I guess I would have like little pots with plants, seasonings like bay leaf and the hell are those other things called? I forgot all the name of those things. Anyway, I would have like little pots in the kitchen with those things growing out of that. Because then when I'm cooking, I could just go like grab one of those and pinch it into the food and be like, haha, there you go. Instead of buying it from the store in little plastic bags, and be like, well, there they be. And you're gonna be right back. Sure thing. Take however much longer you would like to take. And then it says, well, for your mood, one is for young look, the second is for dad look. And the last one is just a lewd face for the dad look. What about the third one? Wasn't there a third? Also, I mean, sure, that works. I'm not big on the whole, I'm gonna have a profile picture for each mood, because that's too much hassle, but sure. That could be done. So that's like all your 20,000 goodbye pounds and then more goodbye pounds for... Well, all your goodbye pounds for a drawing of the RPG group and then more goodbye pounds for 5 pictures. Can do. Little did you know, dogs have weird noses. And their noses kinda, weirdly enough, move around their faces when they do stuff. Like what? Dog knows, what are you doing? They kinda move a little bit up in their snouts. And they crinkle their mouths to show up their upper teeth. And you're like, what? Does anatomy work like that? When you're learning anatomy and you're like, what the fuck? Hence why alright, we're back. God dang, this thing keeps crashing on me. Oh man. Anyway, we're back. Hello there, Gustavo Ferreira. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Or rather, good afternoon, I suppose. My name is Douglas, and I'm doing some illustrations here. Trying to get some, what's it called? Some promotional material going on. Kinda a little comic strip with stuff. Also, I don't know what happened now. Apparently, OBS crashed on me. That's a new error. Like I said, all the things about my computer are not working anymore. And that sucks in that I need them to work if I'm gonna stream and stuff. And when they don't work, it kind of hinders my job, and that makes everything a little bit more difficult. Scusi. Alright, so I think we're back. Gustavo Ferreira says, what are you drawing? I do surrealistic drawings. Oh, nice. I don't remember the last time I saw a surrealistic drawing. Do you have anything you want to show? Because I would like to actually see your art if you're willing to show it to us. If you're into that. But I'm drawing a little promotional piece because recently I reached like a 2,000 followers on Twitch, and I wanna do a little raffle thing. And we'll do that again on 5,000, then 10,000, then 20,000. So I'm gonna do a little art raffle and be like, hey people, if you want to get free art from me, go and do that, join that thing. I'm just drawing a little silly comic here, a little silly comic idea. But that's about it. And there we go, we have now a well enough rendered something going on here. Vidrift says take your time. And oh yeah, Douglas, did you see someone using their art to meme how good your Golden Week comic is? I did, ish. I forget their name. Something Bear. I forget their name. I saw that they did make a little series of, hey, these pieces of art for everything are good and you should check them out. This guy actually did a review of the comic a while back on Tumblr, and then Tumblr went down. So, but yeah, they have done that, and that's awesome. I don't think it brought any new viewers to my stuff, but it was cool. That was nice of them. And Tiger says, no, bad computer, don't pick on Doug. Ah, thank you, Tiger. I need the support. I'm actually gonna go and be like, fuck, someone help me. I need actual computer support now. Because of how unwieldy it is becoming to use this computer. Because like, hardware wise, this is a very good computer. Software wise, I'm not so sure. And I don't know what causes it. Is if it could be like I have like a lot of creative programs installed, and every now and then I'm trying new programs and new softwares to try and do other stuff, so that could be fucking things up. I don't know what causes my computer to behave so like so, but it's not very fun, you know. And it worries me, like really does. Anywho, Gustavo Ferreira says, I draw with a mouse. I do not have money to buy a drawing tablet, and you're from Brazil. Oh, nice. More Brazilian friends. I'm from Brazil as well. But yeah, I also began drawing with a mouse because I didn't have money to buy a tablet or afford one until a friend gifted me one, and with that I made enough commissions that I was able to save money, and a little while later I bought me another one when my previous one broke, and ever since then I have been buying my own tablets. Takes a while to save up money for that, but it's doable if you wanna keep up doing drawings. Not that hard. It's not that hard. You're gonna get it there. You're gonna get it, Johnny, someday. That is, if you wanna work with art. Alright, so now we need to do the lettering for this one. So we need that layer. And copy this layer, put it down here, delete it, and go. Oh yeah, I have to draw the clothes exploding out of the body. So much going on. Oh my god. Oni says, I can only pick on Doug. Doug, you scrub. Oni. Oh yeah, true. You're immune to name calling. Shit. Oni, you Manic, I don't know what to call you, Oni. I can't think of anything offensive that would like actually work. Talk damn you and your immunity to that. Well. Oh, Oni, you dog. And you think your body is going through aspirin withdrawal? Why? Gustavo Ferreira says, "This is a dog, yes, and you do not understand anything you say." Sim, eu estou desenhando um personagem cachorro para uma campanha de marketing pequena que eu vou fazer no Twitter. No Twitter. E eu falei umas outras coisas antes também, que provavelmente você não entendeu ou não ouviu. Que sim. Quando eu comecei a desenhar também, há uns quase 10 anos atrás, eu também não tinha um tablet, por causa que no Brasil não era fácil achar tablets. Daí eu ia desenhando com mouse também, que nem você tá fazendo, até que um amigo me deu um tablet usado que ele tinha, e aí eu comecei a usar esse tablet, fazer commissions, tipo, fazer desenhos por encomendas, até que eu fui juntando dinheiro, e um dia quando meu tablet quebrou eu tinha dinheiro suficiente pra comprar outro. E a partir daí eu fui tendo como continuar desenhando com tablets. Então, se desenhar um negócio que você quer fazer, você quer seguir fazendo, juntar dinheiro pra poder comprar um tablet é importante. Já que é um negócio que você vai considerar uma ferramenta de trabalho, que você não pode trabalhar sem ter ferramenta de trabalho, então é um negócio que você junta dinheiro e sempre que você precisar você tem aquele dinheiro juntado pra, não, minha ferramenta de trabalho quebrou, eu preciso de um substituto, e aí você tem como arranjar isso. Aí... não sei, talvez algum dia você consiga juntar dinheiro ou arranjar um tablet em algum lugar. E aí, se você quiser seguir trabalhando com desenhos ou fazendo desenhos e viver disso, que nem eu tô fazendo, é uma alternativa. Juntar dinheiro e comprar um tablet. Ou só, se você achar que trabalhar com mouse funciona melhor, tem isso aí também. E por que eu falo em inglês? Eu falo em inglês porque uma coisa que eu fazia antes, que eu já fazia, uma coisa que eu faço é que eu fiz quadrinhos no passado. Eu fiz alguns quadrinhos e eles estão disponíveis na internet. Só que eu fazia eles e publicava em um site que era praticamente todo em inglês, então todo público que me acompanha e que conhece meu trabalho tipo, a maioria é pessoas que falam inglês, então não tem muito porquê eu... então eu decidi continuar com o inglês. Além de que é uma boa prática pra, sei lá, treinar o seu inglês falado. Enfim. E aí por causa disso que eu faço strings em inglês. Pra treinar o meu inglês falado, que agora está bem melhor do que antes. E porque... o pessoal que me segue, em sua maioria, como eu disse, fala inglês ou só entende inglês e é um idioma mais universal. Eu vou atingir mais pessoas, entre aspas, falando em inglês do que em português. Então tá aí. Os meus motivos. E os meus 2 centavos quanto à questão dos tablets. Anywho. Rex Window the Wolf. Hello, thank you for the host, and welcome to the stream. How's it going? How are you doing in this lovely day of the Wednes? Hope you're doing good. And also, Vidrift says also, what happened to your title? My stream crashed and then I got it back up, and that might have fucked that up. Oni says, try me with my worst, insult. I don't want to insult you, that's the thing. First of all, I don't want to insult you. Second of all, I'm like, why even bother? Third of all, I'm like, you already told me that you're immune to insult, so I'm like, fuck it. Why even bother trying if I know most of the stuff I could try and say you would shrug off. And secondly, I don't actually want to insult you. You just called me a scrub and I was jokingly going to answer or return that, but I don't want to insult you, Oni, so I won't. There you go. And also, Gustavo Ferreira, obrigado pelo follow. The Drift says, no sé hablar portugués, pero lo entiendo. Oh boy. Do you know Spanish? It's very similar, by the way. But don't say that. It is a thing, but don't say that. That's a thing. But that thing that is a thing is a thing. And Oni says, I may be immune to it, but geez, give it a shot. Nah, I don't feel like it. You're too good a boy to get Grumpy Doggo going on you. Because Grumpy Doggo is a jerk and you don't want the jerk that is Grumpy Doggo keep doing stuff. Anyway, never mind. That subject is done though. No more talking about that. Vidrift says, because you're a good boy, Oni. And good boys need hugs. Oh, that they do. All good boys need hugs. Good and bad boys, all boys need hugs, truly. Gustavo says, pelo menos você pode falar em português comigo? Sim. Problema é a questão da maioria. Eu posso responder em português pra você, mas a maioria não vai entender o que eu estou falando, porque como eu disse, a maioria do pessoal que fala em inglês. E aí eu priorizo responder a maioria. Ou seja, quando eu estiver discutindo alguns assuntos eu vou falar em inglês, quando for algumas coisas mais globais, mas sim, quando for pra falar com um ou dois indivíduos específicos, aí eu falo em português, aí não tem problema. Já que é uma coisa bem mais pontual. Mas é o jeito que eu faço meus streams. Tem pessoas que fazem streams de outros jeitos. And Vidrift says, and why can't I say understand a little of Portuguese? You can. I was joking. It's just that whenever people out there says stuff like, oh, when they confuse Portuguese with Spanish, it's like, oh no, you didn't. Oh no, you didn't. Portuguese and Spanish are nothing alike. They are completely the same language with some different accents and words, but no. They are essentially different languages, and everybody thinks like, oh no. God damn it, Portuguese. Okay, what else am I gonna write here? What have I written before? Finally, after years I have accomplished my goal of having 2,000 Twitter followers. Now to unveil my master plan. I will reach the masses by doing a art raffle. I will do an art raffle. Raffle to whoever. I'll do art raffle. That's a complicated word though. Sentence. I will do an art raffle to followers who like. Retweet. And send me a reference. And keep spreading my canine influence through the internet. How about that? That sounds delicious. And Gustavo says sim, mas eu não sei falar inglês. Aí tá um motivo pra eu estar fazendo essa stream em inglês. Que é porque português eu sei falar, mas inglês eu não sei falar tão bem, não sabia falar tão bem, então eu comecei a praticar o meu inglês falado fazendo streams em inglês. E é aí que esse que é o lado legal do mundo. É você experimentar coisas novas e aprender coisas novas e adquirir novas habilidades e afins. E o cachorro está nu? Sim, mas a gente não fala disso. E sim, eu quero viajar para outros países no futuro, não sei quais ainda, não sei quando, não sei de onde eu vou tirar dinheiro para fazer isso, como eu vou fazer para fazer isso, mas é um plano. Vidriff says that sounds nice and only says what makes a dog a dad, Doug. That is what Doug knows, since he is a dad on his own. Yes. I will do an art raffle to followers who like, retweet, and send me a reference. And through that... Actually, I have to rewrite that first part. It is... What's it called? It's badly written. My calligraphy work has wavered again. And keep. Spreading. Spreading. I have to write this very slowly to make sure the calligraphy actually gets okay. But in my canine, my deadly. True. Deadly canine. Influence. I can't fit that word here. Gustavo Ferreira says, eu não sei se isso é permitido na Twitch. Um desenho. Não tá mostrando nada demais. É a pior das hipóteses, o resto simplesmente não está aparecendo, e se fosse pra aparecer ele estaria de calças. Pronto, resolvi o problema. How do I do this? And keep spreading my deadly canine influence. I'm just gonna go on down and write that. Influence. Around. The world. My deadly canine influence around the world. Okay, now comes the tricky part of lettering, which is finding space and purchases between lettering as a whole. Certain words don't fit, so I have to find ways to make them fit. Just this. There you go, now it looks better. So I think that they do when they do line lettering actually is to they go and slowly, word by word, they go adjusting the space between the letters, like the kerning. Because what do you know, letters are hired to do just that for a comic, for entire comic. So they go and they have a little more time on their hands to nail that aesthetic than most people do, and that's what they go around doing. They do that. Gustavo Ferreira diz: eu posso te enviar um desenho que eu fiz? Pode, manda por mensagem privada no Twitch. Se você tentar mandar por. Se você jogar o link aí, os bots eles vão acabar banindo suas mensagens. Anonymous says: spread my dog will have a true Twitter by retweeting, liking, and sending me a reference sheet. My Yonissi is wet. For Douglas, oh boy. Only no. And Gustavo asks, você é furry? Sim! Apenas sim. Não tem muito o que elaborar nessa pergunta. Let's rewrite this sentence here. Now take a little bit more time and make sure that this lettering here is a little bit more. You know, a little bit more. A little bit more polished, so to speak. Oh, what do you know? I guess that the reason why we're getting so many electronic music is because they're playing remixes from one of Smooth McGrooves' albums, which is just remixes. So there's that song that play now. Gustavo diz como eu faço pra te mandar. Eu não sei, pra falar a verdade. Aí no chat tem algum botão em algum lugar, acho que é meio que tem umas linhazinhas com uns quadradinhos na esquerda. Essas linhazinhas. Você clica ali e aí ele vai mostrar as pessoas que estão na sala, daí tu clica no meu nome, clicando no meu nome vai abrir uma janelinha, e aí em algum lugar nessa janelinha tem um botão de mandar mensagem, eu acho que é. E aí tu aí tu clica ali e manda mensagem por lá. And also, Marcus, hello! Hi Douglas, how are you? And chat too, we're doing great. How about you, Marcus? How are you doing in this lovely Monday? I mean, the fuck? In this lovely Wednesday. I'm doing an illustration today, which I'm just about finishing. Weirdly, coincidentally enough, it took like the entirety of today to do. Normally I'm not able to like do drawings in a single day, but this time around it worked. And only you said other things. You said, "Mwahaha, I'm an evil boy." Shared an image of young Doug with his fabulous hair. Oh no. I can't even see that link because my Google Chrome is closed, and I feel like if I open it, my OBS is gonna crash again. So I'm not even gonna try. That's what crashed my stream the other time. I opened up Chrome to check up on something. I did, and I was like, oh okay. But then because, like I said before, my computer is misbehaving. You like to do that sometimes. It shouldn't, by the way, do that anytime. Computers are not supposed to misbehave, but there we are. Here we are. Whenever my computer misbehaves like this is the moment when I'm like, oh, if I didn't have to use so many softwares and games that relies on Windows architecture, I would so hard get Linux going on in this bitch here. I guess that Linux is like more stable than Windows. Never had a whole lot of experience with Linux actually. I don't know whether or not it's more stable, but I guess it is. Has any of you ever used like Linux extensively? Should be able to tell me whether or not Linux is more stable than Windows, or at least performs better and crashes less, one or the other. I still won't change for Linux because I use Clip Studio, and I don't think that Clip Studio has a Linux version. And there's so many Steam games coming out that are like, oh no, Windows and Mac only, or rather just Windows, not even Mac. However, who the fuck's designing games for Macs? And I'm like, well then, I guess I can't play these games since they don't run on Linux. I can play a game like some indie titles like Darkest Dungeon and some other stuff. Right now I can erase this. I have those two things. Marcus says I'm fine, done with dogs walking, and yeah, I feel good. Hope you're too. Oh my dog, I am so good. Today's a lovely day. It's a lovely Wednesday. Where I'm renewing my love for the world as a whole. Okay, now I need a couple of circles in which to throw in those speech titles. Except that, you know, doing circles in Clip Studio is... doing lettering in Clip Studio is possibly one of the most painful things you will do in your waking life. Oh, fuck me. Just fuck me. And then I'm not even gonna bother with, you know, using shapes to draw the tail of the thing here. I'm just gonna draw it. And I'm gonna paint them white. And just throw in some basic colors. Don't wanna get too fancy here. You know what they do when people get too fancy? They say, "Oh my dog, you're getting too fancy. Stop. You're gonna make me blush." And it's considered a bad form to make people blush, you know. Like what? That is a thing, and I'm gonna go and say yes, of course that's a thing. How did you not know that? It's like one of the most basic understandings people have of the world. This world of... Oh, fuck me so hard. Apparently I got my layers crossed and confused. I did the balloons in the same layer I did the lettering, which sucks. I don't want that. What? No, wait. There we go. Okay, I want them in separate layers, please. Thank you. So I can go and do this. Ta-da! Now I have lettering. I'm gonna make a layer called lettering. Throw all of these in there. Close that layer. That's so I never have to look at it ever again. And I have these 4 drawings going on here. Colorize them with like grayish, not like white, but also not straight up not white, but also not straight up gray. Something. Oh shit! No, dang it. Something lighter. It won't mesh so well with the background. And then, what else will I do? Yeah, that doesn't need to get painted right now. So you see, like, when I use the bucket tool to paint stuff like the teeth and some parts here of the mouth, they don't get painted. What do I do to solve that? What I do is I create a new... I get this layer, I select everything on the outside, then I reverse the selection, I expand the selection by 1 pixel, then I fill it with white. And I go back and repaint these little holes here. Normally you do that on another layer with black. But since I'm not gonna throw in color here, it's gonna be remain very simple. There's no need for that. And there we go, we're done. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but I did this on a budget. That's gonna be my excuse for today. I'll be like, yes, but I did it on a budget. How about that? And Gustavo, eu vou ver o seu desenho assim, depois que eu acabar a stream, que é agora, inclusive. E qual é o contexto? É basicamente desenho de agradecimento por ter 2.000 seguidores no Twitter. É meio que um marco grande ter 2.000 pessoas me seguindo lá no Twitter. Sendo que, pô, 500 dessas pessoas são bots, provavelmente. Oni says I'm running out of loot ideas, what? And also Oni, thank you for the bits, says slap me with your dick daddy dad to teach me a lesson. I will do no such thing, Oni. I can't do that. And Vidrift says, but Douglas, I like all looks of your character. Aw, thank you. And Oni, you will get in trouble with Doug at one point. Oni says, so let's talk about why do you follow Oni Boy? Vidrift, I'm always in trouble with Doug every damn day. Also, you follow Oni Boy because he's someone I can befriend. What? Oni says, I get him so flustered he tells me, no, Oni, no, keep at it, or no stack daddies or squeaky toys. I don't get flustered, I just get like, Oni, why? I guess that is flustered. No way. Oh, look, more rain. But anyway, everyone, I'll be posting this on Twitter later today after I have gone done have food. Because it's 1 in the afternoon now, I am hungry. I need sustenance for my body to keep standing up straight. But this is the drawing. I will just do some like minor adjustments here and there and post it on Twitter. And that's it. An art raffle for you delicious boys and girls. E Gustavo Ferreira disse: leia mais comentários. Como assim? Eu já li tudo. Tudo. And Vidrift says, mas... yeah, but it's time to end the stream. God damn it. It's time for that already. So, it is with a heavy heart. Heavy because I eat a lot of junk food and I have a very fatty heart. Or a heart coated in a thick layer of fat. It is with a heavy fat heart that I say goodbye, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed today's kind of faulty stream. There was some disconnections, but when isn't there disconnections going on with this dog dang stream of mine? But anyway, thank you guys so very much for joining me today, following the stream, seeing me do this weird drawing. And I will follow up on Onius's idea, and I will be doing a new thing called Profile Pictures Requests, or PFPR, or PFPR, which is you guys will be able now to finally use those points you get to trade them for drawings. I will be doing headshots, pretty much. So if you want a profile picture and you have remaining if you want a profile picture and you have good boy pounds, you can change them for those. I guess I can go and do that for like a couple of days now, see how that goes, and then decide on whether or not I'm gonna keep doing that or not. Who knows? But anyway, Marcus says, yeah, bye bye Doug, enjoy the rest of your day. I will. Thank you for being here, Marcus. And Tiger says, join the Discord. Yes, do that. Join the Discord, the fun never stops in there. And Vidrift says, stream again as soon as possible. I'll stream tomorrow. I stream every day at the same time, 9 in the morning up until 1 in the afternoon. Tiger says, headshots are good. Yes, they are. They are good. Everybody loves them, and they are easy enough to make that it doesn't take like hours of my day to get one of those done, like it would be with an actual full picture. But anyway, this Portuguese, English, mind, focus. This is it for today, everyone. Thank you very much for being here, watching the stream, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow when I will be live again, doing something else or more of the same. I will be doing something, that much is true. I don't know what, I don't know how, and I don't know why. Why do I do this? Tell me, boys and girls, why? Like, no, seriously, why? Tell me why I do this, because I need to know. I actually do need to know why I do this, and you guys are the only ones who have like who have the answer, so please tell me why. Why do I do this? And while you're at that, while in the process of telling me why, go ahead and check out Dono, Stream Dr. Duck, who is doing some art as well. So if you're not yet done with the whole scene of art getting done, go out there, check him out, tell him that Doug sent you guys and said hi, and tell him also that Doug is not there because Doug went to have food, because Doug is a hungry boy. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Stay awesome, take care, and bye-bye.